Fight Talk 24/7. We're here in the fight capital of the UK, Liverpool. We're in Aspire Gym, based in Liverpool. We're here with Jordan. Jordan, first of all, thank you for taking time out to speak to me.
Always, mate. Always got time.
It's a pleasure sitting with such a talented,
talented, mate. Hard work.
Yeah, superstar like yourself. You're on the brink of becoming a 4-belt champion for 4 different promotions. Tell us a bit about yourself, because there's a lot of people that don't know your story, including me.
Yep.
I want to know how you started, where this journey began for you, Jordan.
Okay, so well, to be honest, so it was about five, maybe 6 years ago. I'd done come to Aspire. I just moved here. I lived abroad for like 6 years, just doing all the tout and PR and working on the bar, living in Ibiza, Tenerife, but back to back for like 6 years. And then I met a girl. Ended up moving back, and then from there I was just kind of like stuck. I didn't really know anyone in Liverpool, so I just said I just kind of wanted just to get involved in something. Did a tiny bit of boxing when I was a kid, not nothing major, didn't have any fights or anything. Just then really wanted just to go meet people and stuff, but then I seen that ultra white collar MMA, they were coming to Liverpool, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to sign up to this.
Yeah.
So I signed up for it. I'd done a boxing one, and I won the boxing, but I was already training at Aspire, and I just loved it. I'd always stay behind at the end of sessions and watch the MMA sessions, but I think it was just the white collar, because it was mixing with the thingy. So when Dean was saying to me, "Oh, are you interested?" And I was like, "Yeah, mate, love it." Like, he's like, "Why don't you just jump on this? There's 4 weeks left. You've just had a boxing, you've done really good. Just work on your defence, and we'll just get you involved." So that's what I did, mate. I signed up to the MMA one, joined in halfway through. Done my MMA fight, won that, like a spinning armbar. So I just find it dead cool. Do you mean the boxing, the grappling, the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, everything? I find it dead cool. So then I won that, and then coming off the back of that, I started doing a couple of PTs. Dean was like, "Listen, start coming into the classes." So I started getting into the classes for like maybe a week or 2 weeks, and then my friend had a promotion in Scotland, just like a little promotion. He just started. It's not going now. And it's called like UFL, and they just said to me, "Why don't you jump on this? We've got a fight there for you in 2 weeks."
Yeah.
So I was just being like, I thought I was a fighter when I wasn't a fighter.
Yeah.
Do you mean like I'd had a couple of white collars and I thought I was a big I am. Obviously, mate. So then I was doing that. So I said yes. Coming in, I said to Dean, I was like, "Oh, mate, I've got a fight in Scotland." He went, "What are you doing?" He's like, "You're only just off a white collar. You can't be taking amateur A fights." Because obviously, as I quickly learned, you have to build up to these kind of fights. Do you mean? But anyway, I just take no notice of Dean, took the fight anyway, went up and I actually won the fight. I finished the kid in the 3rd round, but I'd only been training for like 6 weeks, something like that, 6 weeks, and I took a fight. So I won that fight. Obviously, mate, it was the shittest fight you'd ever seen, but I won. Do you mean? I finished him in the 3rd, just a big juice head, mate. And then I done that, I won, I come back dead buzzing with myself. I was like, "Oh, Dean, I won." And he was like, "Listen, if you want to fight from this gym or even do anything with it, no more fights." So I was training, bam, my mate has another show coming up. He was like, "Listen, got another fight there. This kid's 5-0, do you want it?" I was like, "Fucking right, I want it." So I come in and said to Dean, "Listen, I know he said to me that I can't do, but I've got another fight there, I think I'm going to take it." He went, "I won't be cornering you, Jordan. You're stupid, you're mad." So then obviously I did that, took the fight, got subbed out in the 1st round, and then quickly just come back. But like, he was just saying to me, "Listen, it's not, come back to the gym, head down." I was like, "Oh, fucking." He's like, "See, what did I tell you? Now, you've took a fight, 2 fights, you've got no training behind you, you're 1-1, and now people that are just debuting won't fight you because they'll see the 1-1 and they won't fight you now. So you're doing this all wrong." So I was like, whatever, got dead, but I was still a fighter, do you know what I mean? Got pissed off, stopped training, kind of went down like that's when like a kind of dark path kind of started. Do you mean? Just started mixing with, that's how my whole jail thing started. Was just started going away for the fight and moved away, had a bit of like a graft on, say, and then eventually ended up going to jail from it. But as I was in jail, I was like, I need to do something. So I just started messaging Dean again while I was in jail. Like, I got onto Faz, Faz was keeping in touch with me when I was in jail, getting on to Dean, and he gave me Dean's the address for the gym. So I started writing letters to Dean saying like, "Listen, when I come out, I'm going to be this big hard worker. I promise you, I'm going to get my thing in the gym." And he must have laughed at it. He told me when he come out, he's still got the letter, mate. I'll see if he'll show it. Do you mean? And when he come out, I said to him, "Oh, did you get my letter?" He's like, "Lad, I laughed." He's like, "You fucking wishful thinking. Do you mean the stuff you were saying in that letter? you're going to be the hardest. Bear in mind, the Spire was absolutely flying at the time. It was Liam, Marlon, everyone was doing really, really well. And then he said to me, listen, that's wishful thinking that. He said, you're saying you're going to be the hardest worker, you're going to get all these belts for the gym, you're going to do this and that. He's like, Jordan, you haven't even had a fight yet. I was like, listen, I'm going to prove to you, I swear to God, I'm not moving here. So anyway, I started thinking, he said, why don't you get your tag to the gym? So when I come out, I stayed at a friend's house for a little bit, then I come to the gym with my tag, and then lo and behold, Dean was like, listen, if you're going to take it seriously, I'll vouch for you. So I started training here, started just putting my head down, really turning up 3 times a day, mate. My whole life was just, do you know how hard it is to go from like earning really good money in that type of game to being so skint and not and just dropping it all? Oh, it was hard, mate. Didn't know what I was going to do, because when I first started, only now I can see what I'm going to do with it. Do you mean? When I first started, I was like, I'm 30, I'm on 28, don't really know what's going to happen. Do you mean, like, am I making the wrong decisions? I was like, fuck it, I've got nothing else to lose, it's this or that. So I was like, mate, honestly, it goes deep. I was mad, mate. It was either going to be something, honestly, people now would never not think I would be. Some people are messaging me going, where did this all come from? Haven't seen you in years, what the fuck?
So this is the thing for us, like, and well, that's what the message we're trying to get to people is, you know, we might come from deprived backgrounds, we might, you know, come from the inner cities, we might whatever, but we have this thing in sports, and especially combat sports, you can change your life like that.
Mate, MMA's changed my life, I swear to God. Like, if you met me, mate, I was a mad kid. Do you mean, like, doing the maddest stuff that would send me to jail for a long time? I got nicked on like a side quest. I didn't even get nicked on what I was doing, do you mean? So it was like, the thought of just being able to step away from all that because the MMA was quality. Honestly, it changed my life, mate. I don't even need to go that deep into it, like, but it changed my life, mate. Like, I swear to God, if you're not doing it, you need to start something. Do you mean? Like, even just if you're low in life, you're depressed, you're anything, you don't know what to really do, step inside the gym, become part of like a little brotherhood. Do you mean that's what it's like? It's like a brotherhood. Do you mean it's like you come in and you...
100%, man.
It's the best thing ever, mate. Best thing I ever done, mate. And honestly, mate, it's the man it makes you, even just after 6 months. The discipline it gives you, the drive, the goals. Do you mean you don't have to fight? You can take part in jiu-jitsu competitions, you don't even have to do that. You can get white belt, blue belt, purple belt. There's different kinds of achievements. You don't have to get punched in the face.
Of course it is. So through that journey, Jordan, there must have been that one bit where the penny dropped, or that spark where, do you know what, you thought, fuck that life, I'm gonna take this seriously. And was that when you got locked up, or when you were inside?
Nah,
or was it a certain fight that
well, mate, do you know what it was? It was only when I come out of jail and Dean was like, listen, I've got you a fight there. I was on my tag. Do you mean? I was like, right, so it was only like a little exhibition and fusion. And I come out and I really like was visualising everything, mate. Like, when I was in jail, all I was thinking about was fighting. Any music come up, but before that as well, even just the fact that, like, before I went after all these white collars and after the 2 fights I had, whenever I had, like, say I was playing music in the car, so that gap of like just 3 years of not doing anything after that, I was just not training or anything. I was just kind of like, I'd always be thinking about fighting, always. So I knew it was in the back of my mind, it's something I always wanted to do, do you mean? But when you're involved in that thing, like, I'd be driving to the gym and then someone would ring me, and I'd just go sort that rather than go to training. I'd just kind of fuck it off, do you know? And that was, I was never committed, like, in for 2 weeks, off for a month, in for a month, off for 2 months, in for 3 months, off for a week, back for 2 weeks, off for a month. There was never any drive or push. But then, so anyway, I lost my first MMA fight coming fighting out with Aspire. I was actually winning on the feet, and then I got kneed in the sternum and I couldn't breathe and I dropped. And that was like, I was like, for fuck's sake, what have I done? But I stayed true to myself. I was like, listen, get in there and rectify that win, rectify that loss first of all. Do you mean, like, don't let that loss be the reason why you're quitting? Do you mean, like, don't? Just stay on track. Then I'm going on a bit of a win streak. Got 3 wins and I got a title shot. But I did it in like good fashion. Do you mean? I finished everyone I fought and stuff like that. So it made me feel better. Do you mean? And then, but I was fighting good kids. And then I won my belt, obviously. And then coming off that belt fight, I ended up fighting on APFC in October. So that was in July or June. Then I fought in July. Ended up losing against a really good guy. He was 11-7, so he'd had 18 fights. I'd only had 3 fights or 4 fights. So experience played part. Do you know, loads of other mad stuff went on the day, but Jess will tell you the whole thing was absolutely fucked. Do you know, my opponent
that was the show was my second show that I ever worked on.
The show.
I just started then as well.
Well, the show, it looked great outside, but in the back it was an absolute shit show. Do you know, I probably heard seen of other people, mate. Do you mean it was just, I was meant to fight at 4 o'clock, got warmed up, was ready to walk out. called my name, didn't fight. Someone else jumped in, like, you have to fight. I ended up fighting after the pros, so I was like the last fight of the night. Do you mean?
Yeah.
I think there was a girl on after me, at Levi Steedman, I think she was.
Yeah.
She fought after me, but I was like pretty much the last guy fight of the night. Which, so from getting there at 12 o'clock, my last meal was at like 11. No excuses, mate. Honestly, Jesse was on the same boat. But all day not eating, up and down, watch people come in, lose, win. Do you mean? I was like heads all over, and eventually going out, I just wanted to kill him. Wanted to feel like I just had to knock him out in front of all my friends. Do you know, that's what I felt like. And I'm getting subbed in the second. So then I was dead down about that, and I was like, fuck, what am I going to do now, man? Like, you almost don't feel like the champ anymore. No, I had a belt, and I was like, fuck, I'm getting beat now. I don't even feel like I have a belt.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to Thailand, and obviously when you go to Thailand, I went to Bang Tao, mate, and shout out to Bang Tao, one of the best places. Going back in January, December, January again. I was on the mats there, and I was obviously, you've got KSW, One, Octagon, UFC, Cage One, Bellator, everyone on the mats, mate. Like every day I was training with like Luke the Gent, I was training with D-Rod every day, and I was doing really well. I'm not saying I was beating them up like anything like that, but I was doing really, really well, and it was just like, do you know what, I feel like I can do this. Yeah. And then that was when I made that decision to go.
Yeah. And then fast forward to today, you've got this potential of becoming a 4-belt champ for 4 different promotions. It must come with a lot of, the stress and the pressures. You're so young in the game, to say that you're going to be, well, hopefully you do get it. You're going to be renowned as, you are going to get it. You're going to be renowned as one of the best amateurs in the country. You know, to have it on 4 different, and not just normal, backstreet shows. These are the best in the country. And you're the champ.
Do you know what? I don't know what I like the pressure. I like the pressure it puts on me. Do you mean pressure makes diamonds, as they say? Do you mean? And it's like I like that feeling of just like, mate, I've kind of always like. I only stopped out at myself my last fight. Do you know, I always felt like mate, I take criticism on the chin, never arguing back. I'm always like, makes me better. Like Dean Garnett used to always get at me, always be saying stuff, never in a bad way though. He'd almost be shouting at me in a way without shouting at me. But it'd only make me better. And it did. You were there at the last show in February. When I come back, and that was kind of the moment where I was like, I knew when I knew I had that in me. I was like, when I come out and I was speaking to you after, I was like, the way I felt after, I was like, I'm so glad I'm that kid that's got that. Even though I knew I had that because I've been in the streets and all that. I'm not saying like I was fighting every day, but been in a lot of fights before fighting. And I've always had that in me, but I never got to show it inside the cage. Do you mean? So to get pushed like that against a really good guy, because he's actually went on to win 2 belts on 2 of Ireland's big promotions, things like IUR and the Cage Conflict or something. He's went on now to win 2 decent belts against 2 really good guys. Do you mean? He's obviously, so I just feel like that made me feel better also, because I'm always doubting myself. Like, I don't know, I just try to keep myself better. Do you mean? Like, I'm always putting pressure on myself rather than I don't really feel the pressure on the outside. It's more the pressure on like, how am I going to perform now? Rather than,
for me, that was that, because what I've started doing in this last, it's nearly a year now I've started, I go to these amateurs, I go to these, UFCs or whatever, and that was that moment where I was just stood there watching it, and I was trying to take it in, and I don't think we ever spoke before that. I seen you at APC,
at my fight
at the Kingdom, at Kingdom, and I was like, I come back, I absorbed it all in, and I think I was sat with either Tom or somebody, and I was saying, do you know that kid? I says, he showed guts there, he showed that he can manage and the pressure, and then to overcome and then do what you did, and then and it shows that mental fortitude.
That's
what we're like, wow.
That's what I like. That's what I like. So from that moment, that's when I like said to myself, listen, if things get tricky, you just need to stay composed and just not lose focus. And I did meet in my fight in May against Kieran, who's really, really good as well. That was a non-stop back and forth fight, and it was just like, throughout that, all I was thinking in my head, like, you've got this, you've got it. Any bad position I was in, I was like, stay calm, do you mean, like, build through it, do you mean, you'll come out on top, and lo and behold, it's just been all about being relaxed in there as well, but not too relaxed where you can't push, do you mean, but finding the right balance in that cage is hard, and I'm glad now that eight fights in, I got to find that. Or 6 fights in, so I got to find that where I was like, right, okay, and I can start building like a nice style off it, because like I said, mate, I've been learning on the job. I've not got no history in combat sports. Didn't step foot in a gym until I moved to Liverpool. And I only done a white collar, then a couple of PTs, and I had a fight. So it was like I did it all stupidly. Didn't have any amateur B fights. Just had an exhibition on my tag. Then I had like a couple of grappling matches. Then done an amateur fight, lost, and then done a K1 fight, won, and then went back to my amateur.
So we've just spoke there, and you've touched upon it. My next question is you are going to become this 4-belt champ, 4-promotion champ. It adds extra pressure. People don't want to fight you. You're going to be renowned as one of the best amateurs. So where do you move from this? Because it was just like you're not doing anything. You came in and potluck, you met the right people at the right time. You changed your life around, and now we're here, renowned as one of the best in the country, and you win this 4th belt. What's next for you?
Well,
are you gonna go?
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, people keep saying to me, like, why are you fighting for another belt? Why don't you just turn pro? You're 30 years old. I'm like, doesn't matter. I'm still like a baby in this game. I don't want to turn over pro and then make the mistakes I should have fixed the amateur. So this is why I'm wanting these hard fights. Like I've said, I messaged FCC and I said, please do not. And I feel like people are still going to say at this fight, like, oh, he's a lightweight moving up. It's not mad. He's challenging himself. With all respect to Soda as well, he's challenging himself. Do you mean he's coming up a weight against someone that's got 7 finishes on the record, and he's already got 3 belts? So he's testing himself as well. Do you mean it's not all about that? It's about he's been a champ. He's defended his belt a few times. Do you mean he's really good? So it's like, but people are still going to say he's a lightweight moving up. So I want hard competition. I feel like he is the best guy I've fought, and if not on par with one of the guys that I've fought. Do you mean Roman? I feel like they're both very, very good. So not taking anything away from Soda, all mad respect him coming up and fighting. Like, I think it's going to be a great fight, but I just feel like I'm going to be too much for him on the night.
Lastly, obviously on that part, Jordan, have you got any messages for your followers, your friends, your family, and the people that sponsor you? Or I've just give you that, that backing from day dot.
Just a big thank you to everyone that comes down and supports. I mean, this fight, I think I've sold something like 60 or 70 tickets. What will be by the time my other tickets come. Got people coming from everywhere: Durham, Newcastle, Scotland, London. So it's just good for everyone to be like finally seeing what I'm doing. Actually, how'd I put it, man? People that would never ever be messaging me. I've started messaging me because they want to. Do you mean? And I'm grateful for it. Do you mean it's finally at a place? That's what I want. I want to be reaching out to people that are like never interested. Now they're interested because they've got like a bit of a tie with me somewhere, and they're like, we want to come support you now. And I feel that's dead cool. I feel like that brings some people I've not seen in years are now coming to watch me fight, and it's like, but just following the journey. Like, I've got people now that have been to my last 3 fights, and they're taking time out the week and saving up to come down, and it's just great. It's just, I think it's brilliant. But my sponsors especially. Helping me out really through camp, Pacific ones. I've got Mogwai, pay me monthly. I've got SBR Ltd. He's one of the guys who trains here at the gym, Jay. He's been paying me monthly. Just really like stuff like that. Just really helping out. Kez from KB Plumbing. He's just really just honestly all my sponsors. Like, I've got Pave, I've got JLC TV, I've got Mogwai, KB Plumbing and Heating. I've got SBR Ltd. I've got Piece of Health to give me all my CMOS, my gummies and all that kind of stuff, my Lion's Manes, all that kind of stuff. I've also got Brighton and Hove. That's one of my friends that used to live abroad. He's got a big brick lane company down south. He supports me. South East competitions, they support me really well. Pave in Scotland, they're just like my mum's friends, but they've got a massive company for the building. Everything's just coming really together. Do you mean? So it's like finally I've got money coming in monthly, and I didn't like go back to it. Didn't really know what I was going to do. My whole life now is just like becoming PT and coaching. I'm now coaching out the gym, coaching the kids. I'm PTing loads, just surrounding myself with like. Now I'm fully at it. Do you know what I mean? So it's good.
Of course.
Really good.
So for you,
pound for pound as well. Because without
pound for pound, I want sponsorship as well.
You know,
keep messaging me. No.
Nah, but Russell's giving me kits, the gloves, always looking after you, mate. Like just really.
He's a nice lad. I met him at Kingdom.
He's brilliant. Russell's brilliant, mate. And he supports all the guys that he does sponsor. All sound. Do you mean like everyone's cool?
Yeah.
So it's good. It's
good that you're in a position where you can now concentrate on your craft and you know the nitty gritties rather than worrying about, or you know it adds that little, it takes off the pressure, doesn't it? You know, you're thinking I need to put food on the table for the kids or whatever and pay this. At least you've got that, and I'm
that's it, mate. Well now mate, I've never really been, I know it sounds mad, mate, but since I stopped doing what I was doing, I've never really had money around me.
Yeah.
Do you mean? And it's obviously I was like in that way where like I didn't want to go to work because then I felt like I was missing out on training. And then when I started trying to mix the two, and I was like, oh my God, this is hard. Do you mean? It's like you have to really just kind of make a choice.
Yeah.
And I did, I made that choice. It was actually when I was sat in Thailand.
Yeah.
And going back to that question, like what made you kind of, was there a moment? It was when I was on the mats in Thailand, and I remember I was lying on the beach and I was sitting there and I had a really good sparring session, and I was getting like Daniel Rodriguez, D-Rod, we become really close. We still miss each other to this day. Always commenting on my stuff and just like little things, mate. Just being around all the fighters, Malachi and all that as well. Big shout out to Malachi as well, because he's one of my good mates, and he's a really, really cool guy, mate.
Yeah, genuine
lad, mate. And as he spoke to himself, he's brilliant, mate. And just being surrounded by him, mate, and his vision and drive and stuff, that kind of made me start thinking like that. Do you mean like he was like talking stuff, and I couldn't really like relate in a way, like because I was like not really got that drive, and it was like. Then I said to myself, and as I started doing really well, I was honest, it was just being like secluded on your own in Thailand. I feel like just having no one around you, not in a bad way, mate. I've still obviously had people from here and there.
Yeah.
But I just mean like being on your own and being able just to like focus on yourself, because sometimes when you're in the gym, see here, kind of holding back a little bit because you're not the top guy in the gym or anything. Do you mean? And you don't want to, you're not trying to like, I never really tried to push to be the best guy. Do you mean? And when I was in Thailand, I started doing really well, and I was like, do you know what, man? I think I'm going to give this a proper go. And I remember it was Christmas Eve, and I rang my boss, and he was like, oh, what's this? And I texted him saying like, need to speak to you. And he was like, he rang me, and I just told him there and then. I was just like, look, I'm sorry, I feel like I don't think I'm going to come back. But I started a month before I was going back to work. I was like, look, I'll help you find another guy. And that he's like, you just can't help yourself, Christmas Eve. You know, I was like, mate, it was just on my mind. I couldn't wait. Do you mean? I was like, I'm sorry. And he was like, I'm in Tenerife right now. I never even knew he was on holiday. Do you mean? So I didn't mean to wreck his holiday, but at the same time, I was like, I just knew from that moment, I was like, I'm going to give this a proper go. But I only had the one belt. I only had the Kingdom belt. And I hadn't even defended it yet. I was fighting Roman David. And I knew he was a big task in front of me. And then that moment in Thailand, I wrote all these goals. I sit and saying I was going to be this and that. And I said to myself, I was going to be it. Mate, honestly, I will show, once I win this belt, I'm putting that up there because it's on my other phone. It's still got the date. I haven't touched the message. It's like November 2023, whatever, do you mean? So it says, I will defend my belt in dominant fashion with getting a finish. And I did. I dominated them the last 3 rounds, and I got the finish. I said I was going to fight for the FCC belt or the UKFC belt before the summer, and then have another belt in the summer. But obviously I didn't even have a 4th belt in there. I said I was going to do the 4 Nations, which the 4 Nations didn't go ahead, so I never got the chance. But I said I was going to be number 1 in the UK. I said I was going to be number 1 in Scotland. I'm now number 1 in Scotland because one of the guys who was above me has went up to middleweight now, so I'm unofficial number 1 in Scotland just now. I just got told the other day. So I had all these goals, mate. I didn't really know. You don't just walk into title shots. I walked into the one on Almighty. I walked into the one on UKFC. Normally I have to have a couple of fights, but because I had the belt there, I had the belt there. And now it's setting up for FCC as well, walking into the FCC belt. So, like I said, I go back to an interview. I said, sitting right here, I was like, it's crazy what you do when you put a pen to paper. When you actually write stuff down and you focus. I didn't know how I was going to do all of that, but now I've done all that. And it just makes me feel like now I need to write a new set of goals. And I have done, I've wrote all these goals.
I hope there was one on there that you can have an interview with Fight Talk.
Of course, mate, of course.
I'm going to start doing that.
Now, mate, but it's crazy, mate. I swear, I don't know. People think it's blag, but it can't be. It can't. Obviously, mate, hard work is the factor of all that. Do you think it doesn't? But you really do want it, and you really think, I feel like you just need to have a word with yourself and just really sit down and just be like, right, what do I want in life? And tick it off. But then you have to put really serious work into it. Like I said, I didn't know what was going to happen, mate. My success now has come from blood, sweat and tears on the mat. Do you mean? It's like, it has.
Do you know what the funny thing is? And I'll share a bit about me, right? And the interview's not about me.
No, I want it to be about me, honestly. I want to hear about you as well.
We were just sat, obviously I messaged you when I was in Bangtao. We were just sat as a family, my kids were playing on the beach. And I sat there and I was like, if I go back and I go into my corporate job, yes, I can go on holiday. Yes, I can pay the bills. Yes, my kids can, be nice. But I don't want it. I really don't want it. I want this. I want to interview fighters.
This is the thing. You're doing the right thing, though. Do you mean like this is where it gets good? Do you mean like everyone's got a lot of time for you? Do you mean everyone has? I feel like everyone you speak to now, you've got a good aura about you. And it's just, I want to speak to you. Do you mean I'm happy to open up to you because.
And I says to my wife, I says, I've given myself 3 months, and you're the first interview since I've come back. I said, I've given myself 3 months, I'm just going to message everybody, get to all the shows and do the best I can, and then evaluate whether I can make something of this. But when we were there, I was just putting posts out and everything, and my page from 2,000 has gone to like 15,000 people.
Crazy, isn't it?
And I was like,
I noticed that the other day.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, what's going on? And I was like, look at this, like, you know, like a proper, like, oh, now I know how you feel, like, you know, what's going on. It's madness.
Quality. But that is, mate, surrounding yourself, even Bangtown itself, mate, just surrounding yourself when you're there, just being in that life. Yeah. How good is it over there, mate? It's
fantastic. Big shout out to Woody as well, by the way.
Honestly,
what a geezer, what a geezer. So let's have a bit of fun. Like, tell the guys a bit about, I don't know, a hobby first of all. What's your hobby outside of fighting? And
do you know what is, mate?
Something that we wouldn't have ever expected Jordan to be doing. Piano or...
Yeah, no, fucking hell, mate. I have a go, but only have a laugh when I go to the train station and stuff. Bagpipes, all my life. But I like skiing, I like snowboarding. Do you mean that's something that I feel like people don't really see, but I love that. Do you mean, not that it matters, but also I'll tell you, I go on a lot of hikes with my mates. Do you mean, like, we go in the woods and it's not in the woods, we go on trails. Do you mean, I like camping. I like getting out in nature. That's the truth. I do. I don't like every few weeks my mates.
You're not one of them geezers that starts sticking everything off.
No. But I like we like going out in the woods. I like doing mushrooms. That's something that I do like doing. And for anyone that doesn't do them, brain health, the benefits of them are crazy, mate. Do you mean, like, just going out like this weekend, that's what I'm doing. Do you mean, like, I am no mate. Do you mean, it's just I like doing that. It makes me, when you come down off that kind of thing, you're sober as a judge after it. And you can clearly see what you want in life. Do you mean, I don't know if you've never done them, do it.
No, but I'm scared of them.
No, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying, mate. It's not, if they were that bad, I wouldn't be doing them. Do you mean, it's more like there's so much benefits from as well. Joe Rogan talks about them really well as well. The benefits of them are crazy. Do you mean? But that's something I'd say, that's something that's kind of about me that I like doing. Every few months I'll do that.
Yeah, my message is kids don't do drugs.
We cut that bit out
then. No, look, it is what it is. This is why I like to speak to people and get personal, right? And from you, if you could fight anyone past, present, you know, that dream fight and share the cage ring with, who would it be? It can be anybody, boxing, you know.
I feel like now, I feel like it'd just be John Jones, just because and it's, everyone's like, oh, John Jones, but now, like, he is like the greatest. I'd like to just see what that felt like to be in there with him, because he's like, I want to have that kind of style, the big teeps, do you mean, the big knees, the aggressive wrestling. That's the fight I want. I'm only just finding myself now. But that's what I want to be like. I really, really want to be like that. I want to be like that dangerous. That like when I'm in there, mate. I know it sounds mad, and it's a straight way of thinking, but I will throw teeps like to now. And I'm not bothered about if I was to break my foot in that. Do you mean, like, I want to be violent in there, but controlled violence. So Jordan, tell us about growing up, you know, as a kid. Tell us a bit about that, and you know, how it led to today, each thing, how it got to today. So obviously growing up, mate, I was a bit, obviously the only guys that can kind of, I'd say, can relate to what I'm talking about is the guys down at a higher level, because a lot of them and mate, MMA is a fucked up thing as well. Do you mean, like, I feel like everyone's got a lot of mad stories. But as a kid, mate, I just growing up, I was just where I'm from, it's quite violent, as in, like, a lot of stabbings, a lot of people getting slashed, a lot of knife crime. So obviously there's a lot of young teams and stuff. So when I was growing up, I was always part of like gangs and stuff. Do you mean, and just like, it's just not the way, and I feel like that's the way the world's kind of going now. I say that it's just like all this, and I know it sounds mad, but you know, the grime music and all that type of thing, it's bringing kids out, making kids do silly things. And I just feel like the message to that is, if you're involved in that kind of life, step away from it, because it only ends up in one place: jail or dead. And it does, mate. Like, I've lost family members, I've lost a brother, I've lost friends. Do you mean, like, it's not a nice life to be in. But stepping into an MMA gym, so I've had mates that have come to me, and they're honestly, mate, they're absolutely solid. They'd knock out people in the street all day. They've come in this gym and they've got twisted up by 13-year-olds. So it just goes to show, mate, like, these big hard guys mean nothing when it comes to an actual combat sport. So I just feel like if you're just lost in life, you just don't really know what you're doing, step in a boxing gym, step in an MMA gym. It will teach you discipline, and I guarantee you that you just step away from all that. If you're depressed, if you don't know what you want in life, just anything, just step inside the gym and just see where it takes you. start training, start doing something, see if you like it, just give it a go. Because if you don't give it a go, you'll never know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, 100%. And I've always said I'm for the people, by the people, you know, that's my little hashtag thing. I say it because I'm not here to fucking make money. I'm here to get your story out. I'm here to get that, you know, true Jordan experience. Like, where did he come from? Because everyone sees the glitz and glamour. They don't see the hard thing. And there's a kid somewhere up in Scotland or in Liverpool or in Bradford or wherever he is, thinking, fuck that, I don't want it, I've got no else to live for.
No,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so my mum is a foster carer,
but
she fosters 7 kids.
Yeah, wow.
And all the kids that she fosters come from like young offenders or units or I'm not saying mad, but it's the kids that no one else wants to have. My mum has them. Because where I live is like so thingy and they fit in. It's mad, like they love it there, all the fighting and stuff. It's not as bad now, but when I was younger it was lots, and that's when I lost my brother obviously, and he passed away getting stabbed and stuff like that, and it was just more like but they all the kids at my mum's, you used to be surprised how much they look up to me now. It's crazy, like some of them have been living with us now for 13 years. Do you mean, in 12 years and 10 years, and they're all mad kids. Do you mean, like always like crazy guys, like all involved in that kind of life. Do you mean, it's just, they all look up to me, the messages that they put out and the things that they're telling their friends, and when I do go home and that, like all their mates, oh, you thingies, brother. Do you mean, it's just, and I love that. I love being able that. This is why I'm doing this kind of now as well. I'm not doing it because of this. I do it because I love it. Now, like, I feel like there's nothing, I've never known what I wanted in life. Every job I've done, everything I've went to do, 2 weeks in, bomb board, hate it, not going to work tomorrow, fuck that. But kind of having to stay in there because I'm out and depressed, dragging my feet and work and everything. This is the only thing I enjoy turning up and don't get bored of. Like, the only thing I was like, so it must, what's meant for you won't pass you by. Do you mean that when that white collar thing popped on the screen that first ever time, it obviously popped up there for a reason. Do you mean, I was just, so I feel like without that little journey I wouldn't be where I am now. So
well, it's been a mad one, Jordan. You've taken us from
I haven't went too thingy, but
I'll
always give you time.
Me and you will catch up off camera and have coffees, and I'm sure it's not going to be the last time you hear from me.
No, definitely.
But look, all the best from us. God bless you, and I just hope the best for you, mate. Honestly.
My guy, thank you very much.
You're a gentleman, honestly, and this is another thing I always say to people. You know, there's hate crime going on or whatever. You get in a gym, you become part of the family. It don't matter white, black, brown, pink, whatever it is. We're all one. We're all the human race, and you get to meet people like Jordan. Yes, we've got a past. We've done this, and we might have sworn, we might have done whatever madness, but I met some fucking top blokes.
Best people in the game are just are the ones that you would never think.
And off camera you think, how am I supposed to approach this guy? Or
of course, mate, this is the thing, mate. It's like, it's nice to be nice, mate. It's like, it's harder to be a dickhead than it is to be sound. Do you know, it's harder to be like that. So I just feel like people are like that, man. You need to get yourself in a gym and be humbled.
Of course,
get in that gym, be humbled, and I guarantee it'll change. That's what I'm saying, back to changing your life. Like, that thing, some people need to be humbled. Some people need to be like, you can't be like that, man. Like, you kind of need to tone it down. It'll make you a better person. Do you mean a better person?
Of course. I went to Chechnya and 14, 15, 16 year olds.
Crazy, mate. I don't want to I've seen some in Thailand, mate, just the way that they are. But that's what I'm saying, that way.
Mentality is just
that's
to be the best.
That's what I think is just stupid about the UK, mate. Like taking little things out of school and stuff, and just like, we should have boxing in school, we should have jiu-jitsu in school. Like, why are all these big manly countries, Russia, all them, they've got all them in the schools curriculums, America wrestling, and we're like
phenomenal.
I'm not listen, everyone's each of their own, but all the transgender stuff in schools and approaching it and telling them it's okay, that's not okay, mate. It's like, that's not going to save you. Like, when he steps out of school, he's into the real world. That's not a real thing. I mean, that's not, mate. It's like, it should be preparing you for the big harsh world, not making you, not putting you like into a clip that you're going to get. It's mad. I don't like it. I don't like the way it's gone.
It is madness, mate. It is madness. But yeah, thank you for taking time out, George, and we'll see you in
my guy, thank you very much.
The event, mate.
Thank you, mate. Big night.